Hi everyone, I'm Peter with Dead Rail Trains. Today I'm making my first and last layout tour. Unfortunately, I'll have to tear this entire layout down starting next week. But the good news is I'm moving to a house that has a huge basement, so I'll be able to rebuild indoors this time. This will be my fourth or fifth layout. I'm losing count. But that said, here we go. We'll start here with the north branch, and here's the north reversing loop. I like my trains to go from one place to another, so I'm big on reversing loops. So this is kind of where it starts. I do use these ceramic buildings. I find that most of them, the paint doesn't last very long, but except for Department 56. If you do actually buy a Department 56 manufactured ceramic house, the paint does last. I usually sweep up the track before I use it, and so if you see debris on the track, it's just because I'm not running trains today. Track runs all the way to the east side. It makes a turn here. This is where the canoe used to be. That's the ice house that I've had since before I can remember. I moved it outside, so it's taken a beating, but when I move it inside, I'll probably get it working again. This is going down the west side. There's my gnome. We go by the squirrel, and we go by, this is where Dave used to live. He lived in a mobile home, but the mobile home got trashed in a storm, believe it or not. So he's kind of living in this barn until we get a new mobile home. I use those Plasticville ones. The the east side runs all the way around here, around the back, through the first bridge. Then we have the second one. Then it runs down here, goes into this reversing loop. This one's on the south side. This reversing loop, you can also connect into the other branch over here. And it also connects here into the loop branch. Now the loop I built because I have one train pre-war that cannot tolerate any incline at all. So I built this loop that's almost perfectly level. Makes things run very smoothly. So as you go around the loop, you can see the farm in the back. This is Eric's airport. Eric is a helicopter pilot. And we go around. And here we can see one of those Department 56 houses. This has been out here quite a while and hasn't lost any paint at all. And we follow around the loop. Goes around SpongeBob's house. Comes back this way. We can see the pond. I do have goldfish in there. I don't know if you can see them. Water gets murky sometimes and I clean it out. Back on the loop. Comes around this way. Goes past the station. My grade crossing. And around. And hooks back into this crossover. The loop branch also goes by Matt's firehouse. Matt's a volunteer fireman. That's his firehouse. It also goes by the toll booth. That's Sarah's toll booth. Sarah works for the state parks, and sometimes she has to man the toll booth and collect fees. Here's the reversing loop for the south side branch. Again, that's where Dave used to live. We'll get him a new mobile home at the new layout. This branch follows along here. I was starting to build spurs, but all the moving plans kind of put an end to that. So that's not complete. This line goes behind the farm and along the other branch line. Comes around here and connects into that loop. Then goes around behind the shed. Here's where that south branch line goes around behind the shed. I love these plastic sheds. They're just hard to keep clean. Line comes around here. Goes by the boat. Now we're on the west side. That's the line that goes into the house. That's where I load the trains on the track to bring them out. Pretty much because I'm too lazy to carry them out here, so I can put them on in the basement and send them outside. And then this goes into the reversing loop again, down here on the west side. And then goes back. And here you see another one of those spurs that I didn't finish. Would have been good to use. All my trains have coil couplers now. I added them to every train. So it's a lot of fun with the engines to use those coil couplers. Here's just an overview of that busiest section. Here we can see all three branches, the loop, the one that goes up north, and then the one goes over to the west. I use this stuff called grizzly grass as ground cover. You get it at Lowe's. It goes down like carpet. Works fantastic. Well, that's my layout. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing. If you do, I promise that I'm going to start videoing my new layout as I build it. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.